Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the recent concerns that many people have had with YouTube. Now, this is going to be mostly about copyright, and how YouTube handles copyright infringement, more specifically, what happens when videos are flagged for copyright infringement, oftentimes unfairly. Now, before we get into this, I tried doing this video a couple of different ways, and I figured the best way to do it, what would work the best, would be to just do the audio, and honestly, guys, the main reason for that is because I just kept fucking it up while I was on screen. But anyway, this is obviously a very new format for me. Usually I have my camera on screen, and so let me know what you guys think of this and what you like better, and feedback is always good for me. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be wondering, why would you even care about this? You don't make YouTube videos, why would it matter to you? Well, functionally, it really doesn't. But the thing is, if you watch people here on YouTube, it affects them. And so if you care about YouTube, if you care about the people who you watch, you should care about this. Now, I think that the main cause for all of this, I guess like discourse and anger with YouTube and frustration really is communication. And I'm going to say that right now. If YouTube did a better job communicating with people, this problem would be like, I don't know, 10% of what it is now, if that. And if people were just able to contact YouTube, say what happened, explain it, these issues would be resolved before they were even issues. Because honestly, guys, a lot of the videos that are made complaining about this issue with YouTube not handling copyright policy in maybe the best way possible for its users were made in response to those users who got their videos taken down not being able to resolve it or get any sort of a resolution from contacting YouTube. And so they made a video to hopefully get support from the community because they weren't able to deal with YouTube directly. And I think if you've made videos here on YouTube before, if you've tried to contact YouTube, you know YouTube is notoriously bad at communicating and interacting with its users, and with automated systems like the copyright ID systems, they need to do a better job because some people make their living off of YouTube, and it's just straight fucking unacceptable, guys, that someone cannot receive payment off of a false claim and then not be able to easily contact someone at YouTube and resolve it. A lot of people use this as their income, as their job, and it's like, you think about it, and like if you're working at, like, let's say Walmart, right, and somebody comes in and complains that you didn't say hi to them whenever they walked in because they thought you were a greeter, and then they're the ones that get to decide. Some angry customer or somebody else that you did something to and they didn't like it, they get to decide if you get paid or not. Like, that's very, very horrible system, and that's basically what's happening here on YouTube. Now, the reason that YouTube has all of these guidelines is, honestly, guys, it's pretty obvious. It's copyright laws. DMCA, which is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and other similar laws make YouTube impose these laws on its creators, rightfully so. It's not like people shouldn't have to follow the law. So I understand the fact that YouTube has to create rules that enforce the law. I mean, duh, but that's not really what people are pissed off about. And there are some people are, of course, but they're morons. Anyway, they're pissed off because of for one, guys, some channels get their videos taken down, some channels don't. It's basically selective enforcement of these rules. And if you guys have watched any of my other videos about like any sort of, people breaking the rules and not getting punished for it, and other people breaking the rules and getting punished for it, I really like to see consistent following of the rules regardless of who's breaking them. And so just on that basis alone, it's been very frustrating for me. And the next thing is that the YouTube, a lot of these rules, the community guidelines, have been created by YouTube, and they have nothing to do with the law, but they still hurt content creators whenever somebody misuses one of their automated systems like the copyright ID system. Now, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure I'm not, that there's no law saying that if a YouTube channel has a strike against it, the channel can only have videos that are 15 minutes or less on it. And I'm also pretty sure that it's not in the law that if a channel gets 3 strikes against it, the channel gets deleted. Those are created entirely by YouTube and enforced entirely by YouTube. If copyright strikes did nothing to your account, then I guess this would still be a pain in the ass, but it wouldn't be anywhere near the problem that it is now. Now, I don't really know what the solution is, but a good start would probably be to not punish the creators and put strikes against their channel until there's a resolution for whatever sort of copyright problem that comes up. Now, a big problem that a lot of people are running into isn't actual copyright law. It's when you basically review somebody else's video, and it's often, this is usually the way it goes, is it's often in a negative light, and then that person claims ownership of your video about their video because they don't like what you said. Now, this is clearly complete bullshit, and reviewing somebody else's content is almost always fair use, and I really don't want to get into like what is really fair use, what isn't, because like even from what I've read, there's always very like kind of sketchy definitions, and everybody kind of looks at it differently. But if YouTube could at least have some like arbitrary rules for like, if there's a clip more than 30 seconds and that's the only thing that's on the screen or something like that, I think that would be a good start to at least create some arbitrary rules. But I understand why they don't. Now, I can kind of like paint a picture for you guys so you guys can understand what can really happen to people here. Now, let's say you see something dumb online, and I'm not talking like normal dumb, but I mean like straight fucking stupid. You make a video about that video, you spend all day recording it, spend all night editing it, you upload it and go to bed, and you wake up early, by the way, too, because you're excited, okay? You wake up the next day, and as it turns out, nobody saw your fucking video because it got blocked, because the guy that you made the video about claimed ownership of it. And oh, it gets better, and you log on to your video. This is another way that it can go, is you can log on and your video did fucking great. I mean, it did so well, it attracted YouTube spam bots saying that you can make $1,000 a day working from home. So I mean, you know you did something right. You go and you check the video statistics, and here guys, here comes the cock in the ass. The person that you made the video about claimed ownership of it through YouTube's copyright system, and now the video's got ads on it. Maybe it already did, but now it definitely does, and you're definitely not getting any of the money. They are. That's right. So this dude is now getting paid for making such a shitty video. Someone, which is you by the way, made a slightly less shitty video, hopefully, talking about how shitty their video was. So now he's getting paid twice for something he shouldn't have even gotten paid once for. So, I mean, you're mad, right? So you dispute the copyright claim, you win. Guess who keeps the money? The fucking clown who made the claim. So let's get this together, guys. Somebody makes a video, you make a video reviewing that video, then they claim your revenue for the video without considering fair use, which by the way is illegal. And then whenever YouTube overturns their claim, they still keep the fucking money. Now, guys, this is obviously a broken system, and this isn't the government's fault. This isn't DMCA's fault. This is YouTube's fault. Now, what would make sense is if YouTube kept an escrow account, like a third-party escrow account where neither person, like not the person making the claim or the person who originally made the video, but a third-party account where all of the money that's accumulated from whatever video that's in question is kept until the dispute is settled. Now that kind of makes sense, obviously. I don't really know why they haven't done this yet. It's more work, but I mean, again, you know, they do have partners on here that make their living off of this, and they really owe it to them to make something like this happen. And then that way, I mean, shady MCNs, which is multi-channel networks, usually multi-channel networks, one of the big ones is like Merlin. I keep hearing about that. Fucking wizards, you know? And anyway, Merlin can put a copyright claim on something and basically do the same thing to make money, and then you don't really have a lot of recourse. And if they did something like creating an escrow account, those MCNs couldn't really just claim videos for quick money and no repercussions, and it would kind of cut down on the incentive to make the false claims in the first place. And also, the person who deserves the money gets it, and I think that's really the most important thing, because if you do steal somebody's content, the original content owner deserves to get that money. And if somebody's just like kind of putting a false claim out there just to get some extra money or to shut down criticism, like basically censorship, that's not fair either, and the person who made the video still deserves that money. Now, a lot of people think that if we somehow band together and crowdfund a lawyer and make a class action lawsuit, that we'll be able to win and establish precedent so this won't happen anymore. Nice concept, but that's never going to work. Now, there are a lot of reasons for that. Even if you do everything you plan on doing and it all happens just the way you want it to, that still doesn't stop people from doing the same shit whenever they don't live in the US. So even the best case scenario isn't a solution, and not to mention getting there to begin with. Not to mention that making fraudulent claims is already illegal to begin with. So you're going to make something doubly illegal, like making a fraudulent claim without considering fair use, or making a copyright claim without considering fair use is already illegal. And so you're going to make something doubly illegal. It's kind of like you're just retracing your own steps. Now, the people who I think really are at fault here, and I know there are going to be some people who disagree, but I'll kind of explain where I'm coming from here, is YouTube. And the people making the fraudulent claims are as well, but I mean, honestly, guys, the people that are making the claims obviously don't give a fuck about the law, because if they did, then they wouldn't be doing it in the first place, because as I just said. Also, expecting or pressuring them to change is futile and it is pointless. Now, they know what they're doing is wrong. Everyone knows it, and they're doing it anyway. And you know why? It's because they don't fucking care. If you can't exert social pressure and you can't exert legal pressure, what can you do? Well, you can mitigate the damage that they deal, and that's all you can do. I know there's a lot of idealists out there who think that everyone should just stop doing bad things and everyone will be happy. That's not real life. There has not been a single crime in humanity that has ever been eradicated, and all 10 of the 10 commandments are broken daily, just the same as they were thousands of years ago. Now, on top of that, the assertion that people should just stop filing fraudulent claims is not only futile and pointless, it also hurts the creators. Whenever you set unrealistic goals, which is what this is, not only do you create a situation where there's no win condition, you also distract from what can work by focusing on what should work. The only people who can mitigate and not solve, by the way, because that's never really going to happen. The only people that can mitigate this is YouTube, our YouTube, whatever. What they need to do is change their strike system to where it doesn't punish channels before a resolution is met, and also being able to contact YouTube is a more realistic option, because right now it's basically impossible. The fact of the matter is that if YouTube doesn't do this, another website will. Right now, YouTube pretty much has a monopoly on video hosting online, especially with partnership programs in the way that YouTube has. Unless you're watching like ISIS executions or Russian dashcam footage, you're probably watching it on YouTube. And if you want to make it making videos online, YouTube's where to go. And don't forget about what happened with YouTube gaming. And I think this is really what I'm worried about happening with YouTube. To say that YouTube gaming was a complete failure would be an understatement. And the reason for that is because the reason that YouTube gaming was a disaster is because YouTube couldn't compete with Twitch TV. And that's just a fact. Twitch owns the live streaming market because they care about their broadcasters, and they'll go to bat for them. If you want to contact somebody at Twitch, you can do that. If you want to play games with music in the background, you can do that. So whenever YouTube came out and people got, this is the best example that I can give you for why YouTube gaming was a fucking disaster. Is that so they get on YouTube gaming and they start their stream up and they got their stream taken down and a strike against their account, and that's a big deal because, like, again, that limits your videos to 15 minutes as well as a couple of other things as well, because they had in-game music on their stream. So just so we can all get this into perspective, so a stream got taken down because it had game music on YouTube gaming. So the point that I'm really trying to make here is that Twitch is willing to put in 100% and take risks for its partners. If YouTube expects their partners to put in hard work and take risks on YouTube, then YouTube needs to put in hard work and take risks on them. And that's exactly what's not happening right now. Now, I've seen a lot of videos about this, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it. There's some really good opinions out there, and some opinions that I think are more or less just distractions. But the point that I'm really trying to get at is I've been making videos here on YouTube ever since, on this channel since a little bit before 2014, and honestly the first time that I really put my first video up on YouTube is somewhere around in 2008, whenever I was still in high school. And so if nothing else, guys, YouTube has a sentimental value to me, and I don't want to see anything really bad happen to YouTube. And whenever I see more of these missteps and mistakes and this pretty much just complete ignorance and ignoring of the partners, like, again, I want to put emphasis on this word partners. YouTube would not be where it is without its partners, and ultimately the partners would not be where it is without YouTube. It is a symbiotic relationship, and both people need to put in risks and need to put in work so the other party feels like they're being compensated and things are going the way they want it to. And I just really don't think that YouTube is doing that for its partners. For me, this doesn't affect me as much because I'm very careful with what I put up, but for a lot of other people, this is a scourge on their account, and it happens to them all the time. And sometimes they even get their channels deleted because of it, and that's just, it's not fair, it's not right, and that's why I'm making a video about it. So I hope you guys agree with me. Let me know what you think. As I said before, I really don't make videos like this very often. Usually it's just me talking to you guys and waving my arms around like a fucking clown. So let me know what you think about this type of a video, and if you want me to keep doing these about different stuff or not. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got. I do really look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this, but until then, we'll see. But thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.